Hey guys, how are you? It's Bricks Nostalgia here once again, and what I would like to do with you today, guys, it's to have a look at another one of the sets from my childhood collection. The one we are looking at today is set number 6346 from 1992. As you can see, in other words, I'm talking about the Shuttle launching crew. Great set, lot of childhood memories from it. This was a birthday present from when I was about 9-10 years old. So in those couple of years where I was into Lego the most as a kid, I do remember a lot about this set, about looking at it in the catalogs, about being very fascinated by it for two reasons. The first one was the presence for the first time of a space shuttle. Until that year when this set came out, there were only Lego Town sets and space sets, but there was never that sort of link between the two that was represented by this set with the presence of the space shuttle. And another thing I liked a lot was this truck, because it was huge. Also, until I had this set, I never had a truck, a Lego truck before, so I do remember about playing for plenty of time with little cars, but and I do remember getting very excited about having this truck, because for the first time I was having a very big build for what used to be considered back in the days a big build. I'm aware that nowadays this is extremely small compared to nowadays Lego trucks, but back in those days, once again, as I already said many times, things used to be very different. So this is from my childhood. I do have the set itself complete, obviously, and the instructions, but unfortunately I don't have a box. As I already said in other videos, when I was a kid I used to rip off boxes and throw them straight away in the garbage, because I really couldn't wait to start playing, building and playing with the set. So unfortunately, even if I have plenty, or I kept pretty much everything that I got from my childhood in terms of sets themselves, unfortunately when it comes about boxes, I really didn't keep any one of them, because they all went in the rubbish straight away back in those days. I wish I could go back in time, but what it's done is done. So let's have a look at the set itself. As you can see, this pretty much represents a special transport, which consists in the space shuttle that is supposed to be taken to the launch pad, and it's made of two motorcycles, one car that I guess represents a sort of management or security car, where there might be, I guess, the person in keeping in touch with the other people of the team to make sure the transport is safe on the road. And then there are the truck, the back of the truck, and the space shuttle itself. So let's have a look at the single elements of the set very quickly. I'm just gonna go through, I want to go through the two motorbikes and the car first, and then we want to focus a bit longer on the truck and the shuttle. Okay, so here is one of the motorcycles. So you can see there's not much going on, there's just a little, it's a classic 80s and 90s motorcycle in white, which is the most popular, most common color. There is this little interesting build on top of it with a siren, you know, just to alert people of the exceptional transport coming. So there's two of those. I'm gonna put them on the side. Then there is this car, As you can see, unfortunately I don't have any sticker. There should be a sticker here, there should be some on the Space Shuttle, but unfortunately I don't have any left. My problem with stickers was that when I was a kid I used to play a lot with my Lego sets, and they used to get very dirty as well. So what used to happen is that the stickers used to peel off, get dirty, peel off, and I pretty much lost all of that. And that's the reason why I'm not a big fan of stickers in general, so I prefer printed pieces. Also nowadays as a collector, but however, still the identity of the set is preserved. So you can see there is this little car, very 80s 90s build, very simple, very small, not much to it, with a radio on the back here, little tool for the crew. And then here we're gonna spend a minute on the truck and the trailer and the rest as this is the exciting part of the set. So I'm gonna take the shot on the side for a minute, and here we have the truck first. As you can see, it's a pretty big build for those days, because it was the first time that the truck will come with this back of the cabin section. You can see here there's not much, there's just a very simple build. It's supposed to represent you know, what is in the real big trucks, that are there are kitchen and beds and stuff, but obviously there's no space at all to contain them. But it was a new thing for those days. All the other trucks until this one were like just simply made like this, with a regular cabin that you will see in regular vans or cars, so nothing special. But as you can see, if you put this, makes the whole set a lot more chubby, I will say. Gives it a lot more body, a lot more personality. So yeah, it was very interesting, was very fascinating for those days. The front here, there was also the use of this grille, which was new as well for those years, giving a very aggressive look to the truck. I used to be very fascinated by all these little elements as a kid. Even if I know nowadays it's pretty common and obvious, but back in those days it was great news. So here you have the trailer, as you can see. The interesting thing of this trailer is that it used to be 6 studs wide. Now it's regular size for vehicles, but it was exceptionally large for sets back in those days. And for example, if you were trying to drive these on a regular road base plate of the vintage ones, the ones that were sold only during the 80s and 90s in light grey, you could see that this wasn't fitting on one side of the road, and you had to actually consider it a special transport for that, because it was going to take more than half of the space of the road. You can see there's not much. It's an interesting build. Still, you can use these little red hinges to keep the trailer in straight position. Oh, sorry, I lost it. Just let me put it back in place very quickly. You could see that you could use it to keep it in straight position when the truck was off, and you can see that it holds pretty well, as the height is sufficient for the truck to go up and down, back and forward easily, as you can see here. And the last thing, let me put this on the side, the last thing, which was the most exciting part of the set, is this shuttle that you see here, plain black and white. As you can see, there should be some stickers over here and here on the top, but I don't have them, so we're gonna do without. I know that nowadays Nowadays shuttles are a lot bigger with a lot more details, but you know, this was the first one, still in 80s 90s style. As you can see here, it doesn't really look anything particular, it's looking like this, but there was now we're gonna go through the feature that makes this build a lot more interesting, and we can discover what the feature is about opening this big section here through these inch pieces to reveal the robotic arm that would have controlled this little satellite. So let's keep the satellite here for a second. What you can see here, it's very well, if you're looking at the arm, you can see that it's very interesting because you can open up and bend the arm as much as you want. There's a lot of freedom of movement into it, and what it was supposed to do is that once the shuttle was in space, in orbit, the arm was supposed to come out in order to put the satellite in position. I remember as a kid actually doing exactly this. Take this little shuttle, unfold it, and then just literally grab it by that piece and then start playing around with it and just pretend it was gonna be taken into position. Great times, great memories right now, and so on. And obviously there was room to play for hours pretending we were into missions of this type. Just let me take this off in order to reveal the cockpit session. As you can see, you had to take the little roof piece off in order to reveal the space to make space, sorry, to accommodate the minifigure. And one thing that I wanted to show you very quickly is actually that, if I can take it out, sorry guys, it doesn't want to come out. Probably this minifigure has been sitting here for about 20 years, so you know, that's why it would struggle. The last interesting thing that I wanted to show you is that this is supposed to be the shuttle pilot astronaut. The minifigures with different torsos and with a different helmet that was representing more an astronaut, they came out only from 1994 onwards. So this very first set, this very first shuttle set, I would say, representing space shuttles, actually had this minifigure as a pilot, and not the more specific ones that were released only in 1994. Okay, so guys, this is it. This was the brief review of another one of my childhood sets. Guys, please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be posting a lot more things over the next few months about lots of different things that involve Lego. Doesn't have necessarily to be reviews, it's going to be also stuff doing with Arduino and do-yourself electronics or various mocks and stuff. So you might want to check it out, stay in touch and check it out, and you might find it interesting. Okay, so thank you very much guys, and I'll see you later.